Hello and welcome back to the ACSC podcast. As usual, the second video now where you're going to see our faces. I think it's going to become the new recurring theme of our channel.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the feedback we've had off the first episode, which, well, not the first, but the first one with our faces.
Yes.
With Elliot, which wasn't, but Elliot was a special guest of that weekend. Great feedback there. And obviously Tom, it was great to have Tom on, and it's literally blown up.
Yeah,
It's
it really has, isn't it?
great to see. I think everyone sort of likes to see the aspects of seeing our faces, etc. And we enjoy doing it, so I think we'll go forward doing it that way. We'll start obviously this week with the big news. The Premier League is back at last. It's been how long now? 3 months.
3 months.
3 months
yeah.
now. So yeah, it's ages, but obviously it's great to see it back. And obviously we're recording this on the Tuesday, so
yes. So effectively it's back tomorrow. But
this will come out on the Friday. So hopefully by then Arsenal will have
potentially beaten City, and then
the league
I'll
could be
getting
going to
ready
you.
for
So we don't know, but also we'll just start obviously the chat with the fact that obviously it is back. It's great to see it, but do we think it is great to see it back?
Yeah, just quickly, just before so we dive straight in, I just want to say again from me as well, thank you so much on especially the Tom episode, which is episode 9.
Yes.
Which is on YouTube, and we're getting brilliant views on that.
Yeah.
I think we've had almost triple numbers in terms of the views on them.
Yeah.
So we're having a lot of views, a lot of feedback on it.
Yeah.
I think people are quite enjoying having the interaction where you can see us and know who's talking.
Yes.
Not just hearing a voice.
Yes.
But like I said, the support is really overwhelming. We really are. Like I said, we're touched by it, and hopefully this is the new norm. But yeah, like we say, the Premier League is back this week. So we wanted to do like a Premier League special. It won't be anything as such. It will just be a bit about the Premier League returning and a bit about
changes, etc.
Changes and what we think. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'll probably dive straight into it, Charles. And any
Yeah. So obviously, I think the big news is obviously it is coming back, and we done a poll. I think it's 2 weeks ago we put it up on Facebook and Twitter saying, do people think it's correct it's coming back? And I think it was an interesting split. Was that the Facebook one, which I think the majority is a lot of the people, etc., are a bit older. Mm-hmm. They all seem to say no. Okay. And if you've done it on Twitter, the results where I think it's more of our generation said yes. So in my opinion, I think yes, it is good. I think if you asked me before the Bundesliga come out, I would have said no. Mm-hmm. But seeing the way it worked in Germany, etc., and it works, and there's no denying it works.
Yeah.
And I think some of the measures I've seen in place, it does look like it could work well.
Exactly that. I think the Bundesliga trialled it for us.
Yeah,
the Germans they've done so well. They've given a platform to Italy and Serie A, and La Liga's obviously back now. Yeah. So the first round of fixtures have literally just started now, and obviously now the Premier's going to come back tomorrow. Yeah. And the main thing is that after seeing the way they've done about how they had the subs where people are kept a little bit separate, which is really good. And I think they've tried it so well that us fans, like big football fans, we love the game. It's very obvious. We've missed it so much, and for me, I'm almost in the same boat as you, where before the Bundesliga came out, I was a bit, obviously being Liverpool top of the league. Yeah, I was a bit like, I'm not sure, but now I'm so upbeat and so excited.
It's so exciting to see it. Yeah. And obviously, you don't realise that it's tomorrow. It's back.
Yeah, we keep saying tomorrow, guys. I know this episode will obviously be out on Friday,
but it's not for us. It's not tomorrow. It's like it's coming back. And obviously, I think there's weekend fixtures as well this weekend as well. So by the time this comes out, we'll Arsenal, sort of do. And
obviously, like Arsenal, for example, they obviously play Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's
and then they play the Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
I think it's 20th, so I think that's Saturday.
Okay, yeah, Saturday, yeah. So
yeah.
It's a big thing. So obviously we can talk about some of the changes, etc. So obviously like there's 5 subs allowed now, and I think this is a big one. I don't know if going forward, if they're going to have to carry it on to next season as well, because I don't know if it's an interesting dynamic of having that 5 subs, because it opens the game up where you can obviously make 1 or 2 subs, etc. first. Then those final 2 minutes or so, that's when you can then bring on for like likes of City, Sane, to kill the game out. Yeah.
I think it's interesting because it's almost like a new season in terms of how they've had the pre-season, if you like, with playing football for 3 months. Yeah. It's actually longer than any pre-season, isn't it?
No,
it's a lot longer. I mean, some players that don't even have a pre-season, they go to a World Cup or Euros.
Yeah.
So going to the Premier League now and having like a pre-season, I think the 5 subs is a good idea, because obviously there's 92 games left to complete in the actual Premier League.
It's over
5-6 weeks, they say.
Yeah, it's 5 weeks.
So that's like
it's pretty much 2 games a week, pretty
exactly.
much.
I think there might be a week or somewhere where you play only once a week, but predominantly it'll be 2 games a week.
Yeah.
And what that does is it obviously puts strain on the players in terms of fatigue, in terms of niggles and little like tightness in hamstrings and obviously in the bodies. So having the 5 sub is a great idea, I think.
Massive.
In terms of next season, whenever that may be, I think there's plans of it maybe being October or end of September, I think they said.
I think it's meant to be September.
Yeah, where they want to
try and get it going again.
So that could be a platform for maybe next season and leave it, and then from the following year, if fingers crossed everything goes back to normal, if you like, or the new norm, if you like, it will go back to like 3 subs.
Yeah.
And I think what they will do initially, they'll fully trial this 5 season to end the season. Yeah. I think if the 5 season works well, from next season go back to normal, because we all want if it works. Yeah. I would like to see it just go back to normal. Yeah. And continue with our 3 subs that we've always had. Yeah. It is an interesting feature. It is a feature that is probably needed.
Oh,
definitely
massively
needed, especially like we were just explaining. Yeah. And it'll be a welcome watch.
Oh, 100%. Obviously, other rules. I think VAR is still effectively
yes. The Premier League said they had FIFA came out and said the opportunity of not using.
But I think the Premier League is still going ahead. And I think that's the right thing. How can you can't take it out after half? Well, it's not even half, but 3/4 of the season. Have it half played with it and half not. It don't work that way. And obviously, the other aspect is a lot of people say is there's no fans at the stadium. Yes. And obviously, I think Sky Sports come out and said that they're definitely going to have. I don't know if it's on all the games, but there's a channel you can select. I think it's on main event.
Well, I believe it's all the games that are on the main event.
Yeah, the main event.
But the games that it's not on main event, you'll have the option
just to have it on.
So effectively, it can be every game.
Every game, right? Okay.
I think you press the red button, and then you obviously on Sky Sports you press the red button. Yeah. And then you can add it. And it's a brilliant feature because I've watched a couple of Bundesliga games.
I've only seen one with it, and I do like it.
I think from us watching at home, and obviously that's what we can do at the moment, stay at home and watch and be as safe as possible. Yeah. From us watching at home, it almost feels like it's normal football. I know when they show the cutscene and you see there's no fans in the stadium when it hits you. But from us watching it with the sounds, I think they use EA Sports FIFA, it's what they use in terms of the chants. Yeah.
Generic.
We used to that all the time. We play enough FIFA to actually to hear it all the time. But I've watched the Bundesliga. They trialed it in a couple of the games, and then when you contrast it to the game where they don't have it,
there's a massive difference.
Massive difference.
The only aspect I think I do like with not having the fans is you can actually hear the communication between the games. I think we've touched on it a few times now, but for me, I just think it's such an exciting aspect where you can hear. So like, even for me in the Premier League, I think more is hearing the likes of Pep, Klopp, even Arteta now, like them top class managers, and you hearing them on the touchline, that would make a different aspect. And you can actually sort of like, in a way, it builds that relationship with the manager. Because like for us, for a long time, with Wenger, you always saw him sat on the touchline, on the bench, trying to zip his coat up when he
which takes half a game.
Yes. So, but now like Arteta is very vocal. I can imagine the same way Pep is. You being able to hear that aspect, I think it'll be a big thing for Arsenal fans to see that he does actually care in the club, etc.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that I totally agree with you in terms of. Some fans, I mean, like I say, the option of not having that sound in the background, you can have it off, and you can listen to, like you said, the players. You can almost hear like someone like Van Dijk screaming across the field or shouting orders. It's something that you never hear in a normal game. In a normal game. So it's that aspect, and some, you can hear the manager's communication. Yeah. And then that could be another way of watching it in terms of more bringing maybe closer to the game. If you like, some people.
I think in a way, people forget that. Football is still the same, even if you're playing Sunday League level, where that amount of communication is there. You sort of think it doesn't happen at the top levels.
They don't talk to each other.
That's what that's what I think is people forget because you never ever get to hear it. So when you do hear it, you're like, oh, they actually still.
This is what I do on Sunday.
Yes, exactly. So it's bringing that sort of relationship and understanding there, and I think you sort of see a different dynamic to certain players who you may think is absolutely crap or doesn't do anything. Yeah, when you can hear the amount of communication, how key they build up in the role, you sort of get a different appreciation for them.
That's exactly it. In fact, I'm glad you touched on that appreciation, because I think what it will do is a lot of people that are playing Sunday League, a lot of people that are playing five-a-side, and you hear a lot of time, and I've said that plenty of times, oh, did you see that miss he missed? I could have put that away. The amount of time we sat at home saying that, when you watch it and you hear the communication on the pitches, it will make you appreciate Premier League footballers. You get paid, obviously, an extortionate amount, and I'm sure that's a completely different. It is another subject, the wages, but it will prove it will show our appreciation towards them and make us appreciate how good they actually are. When we actually listen to the communicating on the pitch and actually watching it.
Yeah, Okay, so we can sort of touch on a bit of the outcomes that could potentially happen. We've got the table up as well.
Yes, we do here.
No, it's down there. So obviously down the bottom, it is looking rather tight still. I think, like we were just discussing before, Norwich, even though they're rock bottom.
Well, they've lost 3 of the last 5.
Yeah.
And there are 6 points off safety, if you like. I know that's actually, you think 6 points, that's not a lot, but that's still 2 wins. And Norwich are finding wins to come hard by. And
I think that's a massive, like, Pookie's really gone quiet.
Yeah, because he started the season off, I think did we mention Pookie on...
It might have been an Instagram Live we were talking about.
Yeah, Pookie, I think we mentioned on the episode with Elliot.
Yes, I think, yeah. Oh, I think it was when we were talking about the January transfer window.
Yes, we did, exactly.
Where we were saying that if he was in that form at the start, he'll be worth like 80 million in January.
And in fact, if he continued that form, Norwich probably wouldn't be.
No.
I don't think they would.
He won player of the month, didn't he? The first month, because he scored like
he won the player of the
6
month,
or something like that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he was flying, and I just don't think I've actually seen it. Obviously, you got Todd Cantwell. They've got decent players.
Jamal Lewis, Buendia.
That's it. Yeah,
they've
got a very good squad.
I guarantee, if Norwich, as expected, I think probably will go down. There's 4 or 5 players, Todd Cantwell.
I think Todd Cantwell will definitely be.
Liverpool will be linked with Cantwell and Buendia, as in Cantwell as a long-term Adam Lallana replacement in the squad.
Yeah, he's signed a new deal, isn't he?
Who, Todd Cantwell?
No, Lallana.
He signed a short-term deal to end the season, which is the fair decision.
Okay.
But yeah, looking at that, I think Aston Villa are obviously 19th and Bournemouth are 18th as it stands. Villa have got a game in hand.
I think the interesting thing with Villa is I think Villa have got the potential to survive, but it's all down to Jack Grealish and how well he actually can take the club. Obviously, he's the captain now, etc. The club.
Yeah.
But obviously, like we've seen within the lockdown period, etc., him crashing his car, etc., he's showing that hothead side of him as well.
Being the captain of Villa, as a young man he is, it's not the right
he 23? I was about 22, 23, so he's still, like, to be a captain of Villa. I think he has been for a while, the captain.
I think he might have been in the Championship.
Yeah, so he has been, I think, but obviously there's been so many rumours about him leaving this summer, and I think he will leave Villa this summer.
To be honest, I think irrespective if they go down or not, I think
he's going.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if it will be to United.
Chelsea have been linked with him. Arsenal have been linked with him. Not much, but United quite a lot.
From my opinion as an Arsenal, I don't think where we need him.
No, I think if Mesut Ozil, as they say, could potentially leave. If he goes, he does free up that number 10 role almost.
Yeah, but we are switching something with Ozil. I don't think we'd ever get him unless he goes for free. Yeah, due to the fact that no one's going to pay 350 grand a week from Ozil.
Exactly that. I think Grealish again on that as well. Aston Villa. Well, they played their first game back.
Yes.
They play Sheffield United, who are obviously flying at the moment at home.
Yes.
Well, you can call it home. It's not because it's almost like a neutral games now, aren't they? Because there's no fans.
Yes.
But if Aston Villa win that game, they will be they could potentially be 16th.
Yes.
So outside the relegation zone. Massive game for them. Like you said, it does depend a lot on Jack Grealish's form, and if he can almost steer Villa to safety. If he does, I think if Aston Villa survive...
I think it doesn't help with them, was it? Wesley was their record signer, and he's been out injured for quite a while.
He went out straight away for a couple of months, and they've brought in Mata in January, who's not done too badly from Genk, I think it was, or...
Yes, Genk.
It was Genk, I think it was Genk. But yeah, I mean, Aston Villa, like I say, if they stay up, they could potentially get 50, 60 million for Grealish. If they go down, it could be a 30, 40 million fee. Yeah. So it's a massive difference.
Yeah.
For them, so yeah, I mean that'd be interesting to see.
Then also we're talking. I think this was the one we started a FIFA career and we had to decide who to get relegated on our career. And obviously the debate we had was Bournemouth, Watford, and West Ham, who are all on 27 points currently. Yes. And we ended up choosing Bournemouth, and I think Bournemouth at the moment will go due to I just can't see they've struggled so much this season. I think like we've discussed it before with Eddie Howe. I think he's lost touch now. He doesn't know where to take the club. He hasn't got a plan B, etc. I think they've got Palace next. That's a big game for them. Even though Palace are up in 11th. But...
The interesting thing about Bournemouth is obviously no win in the last 4. Obviously Watford and West Ham. Watford obviously beat Liverpool famously 3-0. And West Ham, not sure who they beat, but they've won in the last 2 games. No disrespect to Bournemouth. West Ham and Watford are a bigger club than in effect. West Ham play in front of 50, 60,000 fans almost every week. Well, they almost said it out.
Wow.
Yeah, well, exactly. But they've got more to. They'll have more support in terms of if they want to survive, and they've got an edge over Bournemouth, if you like. Yeah. And Bournemouth, obviously, over the years, have almost done really well with under Eddie Howe, as we said. But this year, it does look quite.
To me, it
It looks like he's almost run its course.
Yeah, massively. And I think
they've got great players. I mean, Nathan Ake, Ryan Fraser.
I think Fraser was very, very good last year.
Yeah,
not great. I think he's not, because he had not only to you for a while, Liverpool, and then he sort of died off massively since.
Josh King has been linked with. I think
you're not well.
I think I read a report. 4 of the top 6 were interested in Josh
United
King.
bid for him
on deadline day.
Yeah, they did. I thought so. It was like 40 million or something like that.
It wasn't a great bid, to be honest.
I thought it was about 40, but
I
Bournemouth
thought it was about 20, something in the 20s.
No,
even then, Bournemouth could not.
No,
they couldn't say no. I mean, accept it at all in that position they're in at the moment.
No. So moving up the table a little bit, we just up to 15th. We've got Brighton, 2 points above with 29. I think Brighton will be fine. Obviously, we've got Arsenal got them next. Obviously, we've got City on Wednesday, and then Brighton, which will be our game. I think Brighton will be safe.
Yeah,
bit of a safe side. Obviously, they've got 4 draws out of the last 5 games, so they've become a bit of a draw specialist team. But I think they've got enough about them.
I think it's interesting because a lot of people I've actually read as well saying there's obviously 9-10 games left of 8 or 9 games left of the season. Now, some teams in the middle, you say they're playing for nothing through that, but they're not in effect, because if you've got someone like Newcastle, they're 13th at the moment. You'd say they're pretty much safe. They're probably not going to challenge for a top 6 or 7. Of course, they're not.
No.
But potential new ownership. Steve Bruce will maybe think to himself, right, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
If I can win 5 of the last 9, maybe the new ownership, if it goes through, they might consider me. So he has something to play for. I don't think. I almost think even if he wins 9 out of 9, they're not going to keep him on. But there's an incentive for him to play and do his best. So I don't quite buy into like Everton, Newcastle, Palace, Burnley, even Arsenal. Arsenal, an outside hope of Europe.
I think God's honest truth. Realistic, we'll get Europa League, I think.
Yeah, because you're 9th at the moment.
As a stat, we're the only team unbeaten in 2020. I'll just put it out there.
That's been mentioned a few times.
Yes. Still, Arteta's.
Yeah. If you win your game in hand, you'll go above Spurs, which you've mentioned before. You've won your last 3, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. We started kicking on. It's taken Arteta a bit of a while.
Last 3. That's not bad.
Yeah, we had quite a few draws in a row, and when thingy coming in, obviously at the start with Chelsea when we lost.
Well, it kind of almost because when Arteta obviously initially came in, you were drawing 0-0, 1-1. There wasn't that.
But he had to get that structure correct. Don't get me wrong. It's them players.
Yeah.
The way is instantly seen how much tempo and quickness Arteta wants. The players couldn't do it. They weren't fit enough under Emery.
Yeah.
So I think my hope from us coming out of this is he's got a lot of fitness done with him. The football ability's there. That will come with time, but they just need to be fit enough to last. Because the problem we could keep the tempo up for 60 minutes of a game. Then that last 20 minutes, we were literally dropping so far back because we didn't have the legs to compete against anyone anymore. We literally just got goals conceded on the counter because they just had all the ball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because what will be interesting to see is obviously for it being the first, obviously watching tomorrow and then obviously watching on the weekend. It'll be interesting to see how the players perform, because I think also the Premier League announced there will be like a drinks break in between.
Really?
Yes, they announced that. There'll be in each half or midway through the first half, the referee will intervene at a convenient time, and there'll be a drinks break.
Is that for every game or only when it's needed?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to say something that I'm 100% sure, but they definitely came out and said they will do that.
Because to me, they don't do that in the Bundesliga, do they?
I've not actually seen that. The first couple of games they did.
So I could understand it was for the first few games, because obviously it's completely different going out from nothing to that intensity. But in my opinion, I don't think I can understand when it was in the heat, but
yeah, we're not exactly. I mean, yes, the weather's almost over 20 degrees on a base daily now, but we'll see. We'll see if it's needed. It could ruin the flow of the game if you like.
Massively.
For example, Merseyside derby this weekend, it could be a fiery game straight away. I expect it to be. 20-30 minutes in, if it's a high tempo game.
Just to what you said about the Merseyside derby, what do you think about that being allowed to play in Liverpool still?
Yeah, because it's a real interesting one, because obviously I can see why the force and obviously the government had their concerns, because obviously Liverpool being so close to the title.
Yeah.
Could it mean that a lot of fans will come?
That's what I mean. It's an interesting aspect, because to me,
yeah.
No disrespect, but obviously you guys working class, they're gonna want to see it. It's the first title you guys are ever gonna win under the Premier League.
Yeah.
I can get why fans are going to want to be at the ground. So I think, as much as I think you guys should be allowed to win it there, I can understand that where people were saying, should that have been moved to? Even like our game against Tottenham, I'm surprised that's going to be allowed to go ahead in London.
Well, what it does is that it's an opportunity and a responsibility for us fans and the fans that are going to reel it in, because ultimately if Liverpool fans or Arsenal fans or whoever fans it might be, if you let your team down, it's going to look bad in your club. You might even impose. You've got to remember, this is life and death involved. We're still in a pandemic. The coronavirus is still out there, and effectively mass gatherings. I know we've seen many times protests, and obviously we've seen many bad things that happen. But what it does is we're not realising it is costing lives ultimately. So responsibility for us football fans who have had a bad name. We always have hooligans and all this. It's an opportunity and a chance for us to prove that we're not hooligan fans, and the real hardcore ones are not bad football fans. And racist, and that's what they get almost pictured as or painted as. So it is an opportunity to be responsible. And for Liverpool fans, especially as me, look, I'm 23 and I have never seen Liverpool win the title. Obviously, I don't live in Liverpool.
I saw that. I think you tweeted it this morning about that person saying he was.
He said he was 20. Yeah, in fact, somebody said there were 23 the last time Liverpool won the title. Someone then said, I was 28. Since then, I've married 3 times. I've got like 4 grandparents, 4 grandkids. It's crazy.
But honestly, like for us growing up at school, I used to always obviously like we'd take the mick out of each other's, like seeing us with the Invincibles, etc. For you guys, it's mad to think a club like Liverpool never won the Premier League under the name of the Barclays Premier League, etc. And so
that's what honestly I think Jurgen Klopp's birthday is actually today. I think he's 60 today. And
is he that old?
He's 60 now, or 59 or 60. Oh, I suppose not.
He can't be. He doesn't look 60.
I apologise. I got that badly wrong.
I was like, Jesus, he aged that much already.
I don't think he's that old, but it might even be 50 actually. He might even
be 50, he seems about that.
But he has led the club to
new heights, in my opinion. He's took you to new levels.
Oh, honestly, the admiration I have for him is through the roof. But
he was the manager I wanted, obviously, when he was available.
Link with him. Yeah, I'm just quickly.
When it was, I was gutted that we couldn't get him when we had the chance.
Because I think wasn't you were linked with when Wenger was kind of.
Well, we had about 6 years. Obviously, growing up to school, you would have known for like that. 53. I was obviously a massive Wenger out from early times, but even before it became, I'll say, a big thing of the supporters. Of we spoke about it a lot when I was younger. Was he ran out of ideas so quickly. So when the Klopp rumours come around, I was like, we need him. And it never really materialised. And it just shows if you back a manager. And I think with Arteta now, we've got a massive chance.
This is, again, a chance for you to prove that you're going to go a different route and you're going to do something that has been proven and been done well. With Liverpool, it's like a blueprint, if you like. And I know a few teams are doing that now. Obviously, you've got yourselves. Who else has got like a... There's a few teams. Chris Wilder with Sheffield Bourne. An opportunity. I think who else in the Premier League? There's a couple other teams.
Well, Lampard, you could discuss.
There you go, Lampard. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking of. Lampard at Chelsea, again, ex-player. So it is... The show of faith will be very important.
Massively.
And he's got the potential, like we said before many times. Arteta has worked under Pep, who's regarded as one of the best managers in the world. So he has the potential to make you good or great again, if you like. But he needs to be backed. And he needs to be supported.
100%.
And that's the main thing.
I think for this week we'll actually just switch on as well. We'll talk about some of the transfers which have sort of been rumours. We've discussed Werner before. I think that's very, very, very close.
That's inevitable.
As of filming, I think today is filmed on Tuesday. I think we saw reports just before we sat down to record this one that he won't play in any Champions League games for Leipzig in August. So I think that, to me, thumbs up the move in July, etc. He's going to be going there.
I think officially it will be confirmed in Chelsea quite soon, probably in July. And obviously once he's confirmed with Chelsea player.
And I saw I can't remember, is it Leipzig. Chelsea, another player from the Championship?
Yes, Ben Rama.
That's it.
Yes, I saw Chelsea. I
think it's about 15 million, I think, which is for a player. I think I've seen him.
Him and Ben Rama, and the other man at Brentford is who's the other winger at Brentford? They've got 2. Ben Rama, and there's another one. I can't. It's top of my. It's gone from my head. But Ben Rama has obviously had a fantastic season.
Yeah, massive.
And Chelsea have been.
I think it's 15,
apparently they've opened talks with him. So that'd be an interesting one. A player from the Championship who's doing very well.
It seems to me Chelsea are just trying to buy everyone.
Well, they've been linked with everyone. And they're obviously very proactive in this window.
Yeah, compared to
in this
obviously
pre-op.
I'll discuss with the Arsenal ones I've seen. Obviously, Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. The last few days, I think that's heated up a lot.
Yeah, I think there's obviously it's at the moment there's rumours circulating that could be.
I think is it Diamazio, the one of the big ones on Fabrizio.
The Italian, Sky Italia.
He's one of the big ones. He's even started saying that obviously I think we've meant to agree personal terms with him, and I think that's a massive move. If we can get him, he's that sort of player I see in the middle, who's a spearhead.
Yeah, because like I said, I've obviously watched Thomas Partey at Anfield when Atletico was
getting dominant in your game.
It wasn't just about his dominance. If you watched him play on the ball, he was almost like, because Anfield is the stadium is daunting for many clubs. He came up, didn't think about anything, and he was just playing with freedom. Yeah. And Arsenal haven't had that player midfield with, I'd say that, with balls of steel, and that's what he's got. And
for a long time, you go back to the times of like Vieira.
It almost is that far back. I really can't think of a player that you had that was. I'm almost Jack Wilshere, if you like, who was the hard man. But
he wasn't a hard man when he played for us. He's now turned into a hard man when he shaved his head and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I
don't get that trend. But like I say, he would be a great signing for Arsenal if he obviously goes.
I think the other one for us that I can think of is Dayu Upamecano from Red Bull Leipzig.
Yeah.
I think we've been linked with him for about 3-4 windows now.
Yeah, well,
at least.
I think again, all I've seen about, because I know he's obviously been linked to the Premier League and many other clubs, not just Premier League. I think it's almost probably inevitable that he might leave.
Yeah.
Red Bull are in no rush to sell. There's no release clause in this contract either. And obviously Timo Werner money coming in for them.
Yeah.
And they're, Red Bull are very well off, and I'm sure they'll come out of this pandemic in a good situation.
Yeah.
So there's still negotiations to happen on that situation.
Yeah.
And it'll be a great signing for Arsenal, because you need a centre back. Especially with David Luiz.
I think if we can get him in, he's French, I believe, as well. Yeah. We have William Saliba there for next year. It's a French partnership.
That could be great. But like I say, it obviously needs to happen first.
Yes.
And again, I think we obviously also read a report, I think, by Leverkusen, the man we talk about every single episode. Kai Havertz.
Can we just get him on? I'd love to.
Oh yeah, in fact, how do we reach out to Kai Havertz?
Because I think he's a bit of a fanboy on our page now.
Yeah, but like I say, Bayer Leverkusen was saying that they've almost confirmed that he will move this summer.
Yes.
I think I've always kind of maintained that he'll end up in Bayern Munich.
I think he's the favourites now, aren't they?
They've enlisted other favourites, but I think Chelsea and Manchester United are showing signs that they can pay the money. So effectively, if Bayern can cough up the money, they'll get it. But I think Bayern are kind of torn because they want Leroy Sané as well. And I did read a report saying it's almost one or the other. They can't afford to get.
Who would you take out, don't you?
I take Kai Havertz because of a lot younger player. The ceiling for him is there isn't a ceiling, is there? If it's like, and of course he would be a lot more. I mean, probably 40-50 million more than Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané, again, a fantastic winger. Very different to Kai Havertz, I must admit. They're not the same player at all.
No, not at all. Obviously, both German, so I can understand the links for both of them.
One's a winger, an out-and-out winger.
I would still love Sane. I think Sane is so exciting. I've missed watching him in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I think he's...
And I'm frightened that he's actually... he's back.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Oh, so hopefully if he plays... Well, I don't know if he'll play tomorrow.
He's
not playing. But yeah, he's a player that... Well, I'd love to have as well. German, clock, it works. And obviously our front three are getting on a bit now. But obviously they're still phenomenal.
Yeah.
But he would be frightening to have. Obviously being at City, I don't think it'll ever happen. No. But he's a player that Bayern obviously been linked with. Could it happen? Maybe. But it's probably one or the other between him and Kai Havertz for Bayern Munich.
I completely agree there.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of Premier League, what else is going to happen this week is obviously, like we say, it's back tomorrow.
I wanted to just touch on one thing quickly. Obviously, we discussed a bit the Black Lives Matter thing. We touched on it a little bit, but one thing with the Premier League, I think they have come out and said is they're going to have. Is it on the back of the shirt?
For the first 12 games.
Yes.
The Black Lives, I think it might be hashtag Black Lives Matter.
And it's not the players' names.
The players' name will be taken off, and that will replace it for the first 12 games. Yeah. And also there'll be an NHS badge enlisted on the rest of the season games.
Yeah.
And also the Black Lives Matter, will be across the front of each team's logo for the rest of the season as well. So what it does show is that the Premier League have come out, and the players, because the players did obviously put out a statement from the Players Association saying PFA, that they are very in support of it, and that's a strong movement to effectively, when we watch the games, and I'm sure we all will when it comes back. Yeah, it's going to be there. It's going to be in your face, and I just hope that people can be a lot more aware. People can be a lot more supportive of it, and there's obviously a lot of there's a lot of what they call petitions to sign petitions. Yeah. So obviously,
I think this is a big thing. Is we're not going to go into because we're a sports podcast, but I wanted to touch on this a little bit. Obviously, I think a lot of people are forgetting in this. I understand the movements and the process. I do, but I think there needs to be a drawn a line is the aspect. I think the petitions is the main way change is going to happen. Yeah, you're doing all these protests, etc., but the petitions, people need to sign these. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest support. Exactly. If they want change, it's going to have to be done that way.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think we in society now, again, I know we just want to, we'll finish touch up on this, but in society now, it is very important. We all have to look at ourselves. Me and Charles, for example, I'm obviously of a minor ethnicity background. Charles of English white background.
Yeah.
And we are very diverse. I mean, we've been close for forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, responsibility is to go out and be educated, and it is to just treat everyone how you want to be treated. I mean, I almost feel like, why is that so hard to ask?
Yeah.
Job interviews, anything it might be, everyone should be painted the same initially, and obviously then if your skills come out, it's different.
Yeah.
But because of their colour, or because of their religion even, that's another thing. It's a different complete story, if you like. Another different topic, if you like. No one should be judged on that. No one should not get employed. No one should be judged on that, like I say. And everyone has a responsibility in society to just be, just to think a bit more. And especially in the UK, in London especially, we've got so many different nationalities, and we've got such a diverse community. It's very vital that we all stick together, and it's very vital that everyone can just get along, if you like. And that's all I wanted to say before obviously we wrap up here. Yeah,
I think that's what I'm happy to say. And I was sort of saying, from us here at ACSC, we are fully behind
100%.
These movements, etc. And it's such a, I think, like what I said before, is seeing something like this in 2020, you would never ever think something like this would have to happen. But if this is the start of change, etc., then you know what? Why not?
And this is not just a 1 week's promoting. This is for life.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not a 2 week march. And
like you touched on there, like obviously you're saying, I've grown up obviously as a white English person, so I've known you. I've been your best mate. We've been best mates for years.
Yeah.
I've always grown up around. For me, growing up, I was always growing up around your culture.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always been around that. And I don't get why
it's so hard for you to almost understand.
It's exactly obviously that sort of thing, but I don't get why it's so hard for people to wrap their heads around, etc. I think in our day and age, in our generation, it's obviously even just about equality, but everything, it should be so simple, yet it seems to be so difficult.
Exactly that. And I hopefully and I pray that things can change, and I hope that we can all. 2020 has been a horrible year.
This has been the freaking.
So hopefully from the rest of this year, I mean, still 6 months of it, and going into 2021, I hope we can live a diverse together community, and that's the main thing. And hopefully, like we say, we'll continue. You know,
well, think it'll get better for you soon. Liverpool win the league.
Yeah, well, I don't, like I say, I keep holding off.
Next season Arsenal will come up. We're going to go unbeaten. We'll win the league. No, obviously.
But I think we've I
think for this week, we're happy with that. Obviously, this will be episode 10. This will be coming out on Friday when you see it. Obviously, we just filmed episode 11 as well. Just a bit of with Ollie from Don's Action. So that will be coming out next Friday.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode with him, talking about NK Dons, side up things, obviously both originally from Milton Keynes. I'm in Bicester now, but just talking about that dynamic of the club, what he thinks of the future, etc., and where they can go. So check out Don's Action. He's a really good channel there.
Anyone who watches our YouTube, please subscribe as well. That would be,
of course.
Massive. I know, again, people watching Apple, who listen on
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., but YouTube really took off last episode.
Like I said, we've had the first video, and
we've got a lot more plans as well. It's obviously going to have but we're going to try and expand it a bit more, not just a podcast, but it's really going to become our hub and our channel where you'll probably see even a video of you, or even
I was just about to say we'll talk about football always and sport, but we might even do.
I think, like I said before,
could be anything in there.
The YouTube channel is going to be other sports as well. It's really different. If you want literally podcast episodes, will be football. And if it's not a podcast video, then it could be golf, it could be cricket, it could be anything.
Honestly, you want us to do anything, we are happy to.
Just drop us
within reason, of course.
We're
not going to do anything. I'm not going to stick on a United shirt, and no, I'm not going to do that.
You might do.
Absolutely no chance.
We'll do some football challenges. There'll be some football challenges.
Anything you want you want to see us do, anything you want to watch, especially like we said, we're trying to do this video now as well.
Yeah, of course.
And easing out of lockdown as well now. Yes. It's becoming easier.
Yes,
the aim is to kind of progress our YouTube channel. So any listeners on our Spotify and our Apple Podcasts who are listening to this now, please do get our YouTube. Is it ACSC official? Or?
YouTube is literally just type in ACSC podcast. It pops up straight away.
Yeah, subscribe to that and listening to.
Obviously, all our socials would be linked as well. But obviously, our Instagram is our main hub where we're most active now. You can hit us up on our DMs there. We reply pretty much straight away.
But
today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's warm.
So for this week, thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care, guys. Bye bye.